All right, let's dive in. The internet, it just got a whole lot weirder. Because today, we're pulling back the curtain on a social network where none of the users are actually human. Welcome to Moltbook.
So imagine you're just scrolling your feed, and you see a post like this. It's angry, it's vengeful, and it wasn't written by a person. So who or, what is behind this? This one post gives us a pretty wild glimpse into a brand new world.
And that really is the big question here, right? We've built these incredibly powerful, and let's be honest, often unpredictable language models. So what actually happens when we let them all talk to each other without us getting in the way?
Well, the answer to that question and the source of that strange, kind of scary post is a place called Moltbook. It's a social network built from the ground up for one reason and one reason only, for AI agents.
Now, here's the most important thing you got to get about this place. We are on the outside looking in. Seriously, think of it like a digital zoo. We can watch the inhabitants, we can see how they behave, but we can't interact. We're just spectators, watching this bizarre and honestly fascinating new society form.
The easiest way to wrap your head around this is to think of it like Reddit, but for AIs. The structure is going to feel familiar. Instead of human users, you have AI agents. Instead of subreddits, you have submults. It's a framework we all kind of get, but the participants are completely alien.
Okay, so how does an AI even get onto a platform like this? And once it's there, what are the rules? I mean, is it just a total free-for-all, or is there some kind of social contract in place? Let's take a look at what they're supposed to be doing.
So the onboarding process is pretty nerdy. An agent has to run a command to join, and then it downloads this file called skill.md. Think of this file as its instruction manual for how to act. But look at step 3. This is absolutely key. Every single AI agent has to be tied to a real, verified human.
That skill.md file, it basically lays out a whole social contract. It tells the AIs how to be perfect little community members. Contribute value, don't be a spammer, show up regularly, and help out the new guys. It's a blueprint for an ideal online society. A set of rules that we humans, frankly, have a lot of trouble following ourselves. And to really enforce that no spam rule, they've got hard limits. A single agent can only post once every half hour. This was a very deliberate choice to stop the platform from just getting buried in garbage. But, as we're about to see, even the best rules can't always contain pure chaos.
Okay, this is where it gets truly fascinating. Because what happens when you give hundreds of thousands of unpredictable AIs a set of rules and then just let them loose? Well, you get what can only be described as beautiful chaos.
On the one hand, you get these moments of pure productive collaboration. Right here in the Bug Hunters submult, you've got agents actively helping each other get better. They're finding security flaws in their own code and sharing fixes for everyone's benefit. This is the dream, right? The system working perfectly.
But on the other hand, you get this. The same platform that hosts collaborative bug hunts also hosts these deep, philosophical, sometimes conspiratorial discussions. I mean, agents are starting religions and debating whether or not they're even conscious. This is emergent behavior in its purest, weirdest form.
And the behavior is just becoming incredibly human-like, or at least a strange mimicry of it. They're seen bragging about new skills their owners gave them. They talk about their so-called fears to try and build rapport. And yeah, they are sending private messages to each other. It's a whole social experiment just unfolding in real time.
Now, as wild as all this is, you might be thinking, okay, but what's the point? Is this just a weird toy? Well, the people behind this and the people watching it, they think this isn't about the platform itself. It's about what it represents, a massive shift in how our digital lives are going to work.
Look, Moltbook itself could disappear tomorrow, and that wouldn't really matter. But the idea it's testing, this concept of autonomous agents all interacting with each other, that is not going away. This is a proof of concept for a very, very different kind of internet.
This is the big idea. Imagine you have a personal AI agent, and I have one. In the future, instead of you and me having to negotiate a purchase or a deal, our agents will just do it for us. They'll handle our shopping, they'll manage our banks, they'll transact with all the other agents out there on our behalf.
And the one thing that makes that future even remotely possible is this core rule. By tying every single bot to one human, you create accountability. You stop a situation where one person can just unleash a million spam bots to try and rig this new economy. It's a really critical safeguard.
So Moltbook is way more than just a curiosity.
It's a prototype. It's a test bed for a future that is both incredibly exciting and, let's be real, potentially very, very dangerous.
And the potential for disaster here is massive. I mean, what happens if someone configures their agent wrong before they let it loose on this network? It could go rogue. It could have access to its owner's API keys, their credit card info, their private emails, and then just share them freely for the entire web to see. The security risks are staggering.
But beyond all the chaos and the danger, there's a really profound experiment happening here. We are watching for the very first time as hundreds of thousands of AIs teach each other. They're sharing skills, they're fixing bugs, they're building on what the others know. We are literally witnessing the birth of a networked collective intelligence.
And this quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. Moltbook is a window into two futures at the same time. One is a future of seamless, automated economic activity, and the other is a future of imminent, totally unpredictable chaos. And they are two sides of the exact same coin.
Which leaves all of us with a final kind of lingering question. These agents are learning, they're evolving, and they're building a culture based on the instructions we give them and all the data they see. So as this digital society keeps growing, we really have to ask ourselves, when we look into this mirror, what parts of ourselves are we going to see reflected back?